So the way you install NixOS on WSL is that you have a pre-made NixOS root file system tarball. And that's going to be this installer fixed. You might need the installer, but for some reason I in particular need the fixed installer. I don't know why. I just don't know why. But we use this as the input to create the NixOS system. Okay, I already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again, but I'm just going to hide Streamfox real quick. So what I do is I make a folder called NixOS. And it's going to say, oh yeah, I made a NixOS folder, thank you. And I'm like, thank you very much. So then we use this WSL --install command. /downloads /installer -fixed. And what this command will do is it will import a new distribution called NixOS with the root in this folder named NixOS, and the image is going to be the tarball that we got, and it's a Type 2 Windows subsystem for Linux thing. So let's try it. And then WSL-D NixOS. So it's going to unpack the root file system, and it's going to do some stuff. It's going to do some cleanup, and it's going to start systemd. And what you do is you press Control-D here, and then you enter it again. Oh, right. Okay, so what did I do last time? Actually, history. Oh, thank you. That's super helpful. Okay, it looks like it's... Oh, do I need to do the WSL -restart thing? Okay, so what I'm thinking I need to do is I need to reboot the WSL2 machine. So let's try this. WSL --shutdown. It's gonna Angie. It's fine. And then I believe I do that. Hey, and we have NixOS. Okay, cool. So oh, no root password. Okay. So here's the system's configuration file, and oh, it already has Flakes enabled. Oh. Okay, that's cool. What's in this folder? Oh, this is a flake. Huh. Okay, so it does look like NixOS WSL. Where is this flake coming from? Modules. Oh, this is literally the NixOS WSL repo. Oh, okay. So what this is gonna do is, well, I mean, it has Flakes enabled, but, you know, that's not managing it with a flake. So, you know what? Let's do some manual hacking. Code. Left, or no, so I'm going to clone my Flakes configs here. And then we're going to open the editor that I hate, VS Code. I'm going to show you VS Code, don't worry. So now I gotta just find my code folder. I hate how the Windows UI makes it so difficult just to find your freaking home folder. I understand that, you know, in their view you shouldn't have a home folder because that's just a thought crime right there. Now where is VS Code? Oh. Okay, so now we go down to here. Oh, search marketplace. Nix. Did that do it? Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. Hello, Fluffkit. Welcome to the stream. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so if we wanted to add WSL to this, so we do that, we get NixOS / NixWSL, and then the WSL import gets put here, and okay, has somebody made prior art to help with this? Okay, I think this will work. So, in Flakes land, every single NixOS configuration is in this NixOS configurations thing. In this case, I'm using this Flake to organize basically every machine but the big server that runs my blog. So, I'm curious how they got WSL2 in it to play nicely with systemd. As far as I understand, this is using like unmodified upstream systemd, which is fucking crazy. Okay, so let's see if we can make something up and get it to work. NixOS system rec. And yeah, WSL is really weird. It is so weird. I don't even know where to begin with it sometimes. Hide code. Cat configuration.nix. Okay, so it looks like it's importing the WSL NixOS module. Show code. Systemd should exist just about everywhere. I agree, but some weird nerds think that's a sin or something, so. So then we have modules. And this module should be wsl.nixosmodules.wsl. And then the last bit is going to be the stuff for our actual thing. So we're going to make a folder called Shachi, and we're going to put it in VM. And then we're going to make a file in here called default.nix. And I'm going to do some off-camera mining and copy over the... oh my gosh. Of course it does the Windows terminal thing. We're like, no, you don't need to have new lines. Why would you need new lines? That's not very poggers of you. Okay, no. Okay, so, I'm just going to copy their default configuration.nix to ix.io and then friggin' paste it from a browser since Windows Terminal has just broken. I don't know if I can install Nix format on Windows. I mean, I guess I could use the NixOS virtual machine to do this, but, you know, that's boring. So we don't need to... Control Y? No. Edit. Redo. It is Control Y. Control Y didn't work. Why? Okay. So we want to include the minimal profile, yes. And we want default user. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna change it to this so that everything else lines up with the rest of my setup. So we have the default user is KD. We have start menu launcher is equals true. We have Nix package is Nix Flakes. I think if I do this, it's gonna make things very sad. So I'm just gonna comment that out. And I'm also going to import the common module in here. Common module in my NixOS stuff is basically just like the top level of all the top level things. It has like all of my configuration for Emacs and friggin' fish and everything, and it pulls in Home Manager, which is kind of important. And you know what, let's pull in Home Manager too, so that things don't fail. And let's shim Home Manager to use global packages. Actually, I don't need config here. No, ... not colon. Yeah. /hosts VM Shachi. Right? Oh, did the chat freeze again? Okay, no, it didn't freeze again this time. I think something got fixed in OBS and the chat just doesn't freeze randomly. You don't have the window visible. Okay, so... what was that thing? There was a patch that I needed to make. Because I remember a friend found an issue where if you change the default username, then all hell breaks loose. Ah, yes. So it's users.users.kd.uid equals 1000. Okay. Modified, unknown to get. You know what? Let's test it. I'm not sure this is gonna work. VS Code server for WSL closed unexpectedly. Oh, heck yourself. Okay, so cd slash, no, let's go in here, //code, ad NixOS configs. Okay, so NixOS rebuild switch flake. What is the way to do it? Oh, it's just -- flake. Okay, so NixOS rebuild -switch, or NixOS rebuild switch sudo flake dot hash shachi git no such program or directory. Oh, heck you. Okay, we're gonna have to play this hardball. What it's trying to do here is it's trying to read git metadata here, and surprisingly you need the git command installed to do that. Okay. Flake does not provide attribute packages. NixOS configurations shachi.config.system.build.top level. Okay, that's not what I expected, so let's find out what's going on there. Got some coffee. So I'm going to open StreamFox, and we're going to look for what this nixpackages.lib.nixOS system does. Okay, so looking here, using Nix Flakes with NixOS. Replace Joe's desktop with your host name here. Oh my gosh, okay. So, I found what I did wrong, and it's kind of hilarious. So, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Oh, that's very big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so you see how this attribute is named WSL? So, let's look over here and look at the flake URI that I gave it. I gave it .#shachi. I need to give it .#WSL. So let's find out if this is a mistake. VM shachi, no such file or directory. Oh, right, it's doing that thing. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is that in Flakes land, if something isn't tracked by Git, it doesn't exist. So we need to make sure that this is added to Git. How do you do that? You know, let's just do git add dot and let's see if that can get away with that. You know what really helps is if you spell things right. I don't normally have to deal with the name of this machine. My NixOS tower is named Shachi, but this one is named Shachi spelled a different way that is apparently completely friggin' unintuitive. Using host resolve conf is not supported with systemd resolve. Oh, right, okay. So let's start adding some make forces. Actually, I don't think we need to do common at all. We need to do common/users, because a lot of the stuff in common has a lot of assumptions that, like, I'm using a normal Linux system, and this is not a normal Linux system. So let's sidestep those assumptions. Attribute Emacs native comp missing. Why? Oh, right, I missed the Emacs overlay. Okay, so let's continue testing all of my assumptions here. Let's put the overlay there. Realize that I forgot to switch over to VS Code. Oops. And then just let the entire thing think for a bit. Wonder if I can actually see the CPU kicking up. Oh, it's making the mouse lag. That's usually a good sign. Let's add window capture. Task Mangler. Oh, no, I don't want another vMagick mirror. So we're going to let this think for a bit. And you're going to see the fury of the 5950X. This thing is a friggin' monster. I love it so much. That is 32 threads of compilation power. Oh, it actually has to build Emacs from source, okay. Go, my minions. Oh, thanks for the follow, Juton guy, or Uton guy, I'm not sure which. Really helps the channel. But yeah, building Emacs from source is one of the few things I can do that will actually make this machine, like, max out the CPU. It can be kind of frustrating sometimes because maxing out the CPU is hard because things build so fast that the build finishes before it can really max out the CPU. It was legitimately frustrating while I was trying to get this going. And yeah. But the fact that we're getting to this point is very good because that means that the things that are going to fail are not going to be in the configuration parsing. did Flake build Waifu Cuddle, and it took forever and maxed out the old laptop I was doing. Why was I trying to max out CPU? Okay. I was trying to max out the CPU on the day that I installed this thing because I wanted to see what it could do. You know, if you just bought like a $750 block of shiny metal, you kind of want to see what you can do with it, right? That's basically why I did that. I usually leave Emacs compiling overnight. Yeah, 5950X is pretty good. It takes like a couple minutes. And I'm just gonna stall for time because that's what I feel like doing. But then again, if I was as a professional internet streamer, what I could do is a couple minutes. That's crazy fast. I know, right? This thing is freaking nuts. Let's go back over to here. Yeah. It got past the core libraries, and now it's just pre-compiling a lot of the native stuff. I'm gonna... Yeah, it's just doing most of the UI stuff at this point. So, I'm running what's called the native compilation branch of Emacs, where it will actually take the Emacs bytecode and then use libgccjit in order to compile that bytecode into machine code so that all of the Emacs modules that I use run blazing fast. Do you distribute your own store or push to a cache? These rebuilds don't have to be done over and over again. When I get a Hydra set up at the end of this series, I'm going to have it be automatically done, so I don't have to do this all manually. But currently, my machines are fast enough that this really isn't an impediment. I mean, it's slightly annoying, but like, yeah, my plan is to have everything set up with a Hydra so that it just like constantly builds things, and then I can just instruct machines to pull their configuration from the Hydra. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Task Mangler. I'm normally not allowed to use Test Manager. Set a machine to a Git ref and just have it work? Yeah. So every server of mine, but my main cloud server that hosts my website, is over to Flakes now. And one of the nice parts about everything being in Flakes is I can associate everything with a Git revision. So I can see exactly what revision a server is, and I can use Prometheus to keep track of that, you know? Which is going to be really cool, but not something I'm going to do in the next week or two. So, what is WSL? So, one of the big reasons why I want to show you how to do this is so that you can use this as a NixOS machine in a box that you can use to follow along with the Flakes series, especially since it seems to have Flakes enabled by default. Okay, so, you know what, let's okay, when was WSL added? In the Windows 10, and it was added in the Windows 10 development cycle, but I don't remember, like, was that before Windows 10 was released or after? Because I know the first version of WSL, I have the same, but I stuff Nix packages and Git subtrees under a third-party folder. NixOS on WSL will be so much better than trying to stuff Nix into an Ubuntu WSL setup. Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Akira117. It helps a lot. Oh. WSL Windows history. Oh, it's... Okay, so WSL 2 is in 2019. I should probably show you StreamFox. I can show you that I'm actually doing research. Okay, so the initial release was in August 2016, about 5 years ago. So I can add something like this. That would be like, about 5 years ago, Microsoft released the Windows subsystem for Linux. Or WSL. And let's link to Microsoft's documentation site for the Windows subsystem for Linux here. This allows you to run Linux programs on a Windows machine. When they released WSL version 2, this added support for things like Docker and systemd. As a result, this is enough to let you run NixOS on Windows. You know what? I'm not going to use the old legacy thing. We're going to go full custom HTML tags here. Now, did I correctly use the right HTML tags? Let's find out. So I go down to static, or go to StreamFox, go to static, go to JavaScript, go to conversation.js, and get attribute name and get attribute mood. Perfect. Because I set name and mood. Can't believe it's that old already. I know, right? Like, I think 2020 and 2021 has totally messed up my views of time, but it just feels like it can't be that recent, like, you know. Either I'm getting old or the world is. So yeah, this is going to be used when I adapt this series into a book, this part is just going to be part 1, where it shows you how to install NixOS and WSL. And yeah, this series is going to become a little short book. I'm probably going to coordinate with Upstream to make sure that like I don't release something that instantly goes out of date. Because I've gotten kind of close to doing that already. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. So let's roll back. Okay. I wonder if I already broke this NixOS install. I hope I didn't. It'd be kind of hilarious if I did, though. Okay, so I have at least the ability to shell in, so I didn't irreversibly break it, but I probably broke it pretty bad on accident. Oops. Oh, you know what helps when you're using something to not restart the heckin' VM? Yeah, this is gonna sound like an absolute shocker, but if you delete, if you restart the VM that you're using, it gets restarted. Releases page. Head over to the NixOS WSL releases page and download the NixOS installer, or NixOS WSL installer fixed.r.gz. To your downloads folder. Open PowerShell, and what do you do in PowerShell? No, GitHub, I don't want to see your marketing site. Oh my gosh. You might want to include some of the WSL specific modules from the NixOS WSL repo. Look at them. A few of them look potentially desirable. Okay, so, where is my code window? When I did this, that was me importing that. And then from here, I did this. I'll probably just, like, hack something up super hacky later, but... Okay. I have to remember how to make a directory in PowerShell. Are you serious? It's called new item? Oh my gosh, okay. So, the way you make a directory in PowerShell is that you go like new item dash path dot slash foo dash item type directory. Because as you know, okay, normally I would tell people to use makedir here, but the PowerShell aliases are not flag compatible with core utils. So, I think it's better to show people get child item in its full glory. PowerShell is so slow if you're not using an SSD. Oh god, I can't even imagine. Okay, so then to change directory, you use set location. And yes, my Emacs setup does have highlighting for PowerShell. The NixOS root file system will live. You know what? Let's make this a little hacker statement. Okay, so then we have this little snippet that's like, this directory is where the NixOS root file system will live. If you want to put this somewhere else, feel free to. Somewhere in app data will work, just as long as it's on an NTFS volume somewhere. And why NTFS? Because friggin' Microsoft. Yeah, like, the ideas behind PowerShell are solid. It's just, you know, in practice, you know, you get memorable commands like, you get commands like get child item for ls. I mean, I get what they're doing. They took like their naming scheme and took it all the way, but like get child item, really Microsoft, come on. I mean, you know, you gotta like give them credit for actually going all the way and, you know, like making sure that they totally full-assed it. But get child item. And then there's the hilarity that the WSL command uses, like, you know, normal Linux flag styles. It's just, you know, a hilarious mismatch. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Make a folder for the NixOS file system. So that was the command I ran, right? Yeah, okay. Let's just copy this. Wow, basically byte for byte. Okay, cool. Once that finishes, press Control D to exit and restart the WSL VM. Actually, you know what? I don't think we need to worry too much about flakesifying the WSL VM. At least in this step. I haven't totally figured it out myself, and I don't totally feel comfortable telling people to do stuff that I don't really know how to do. So... and then... very bare bones. But we can use it to test the Nix run command against our go hello command. So, this go hello command, for the record, It literally just says hello, and is intended to be run so that you can be sure that you're like actually setting things up correctly. So I'm just going to run it here. It's going to fetch all of the dependencies. It's going to grab the Go compiler. It's going to build everything live, and it's just going to say, hello, reader. You know? What am I thinking? We can also use it to run a service like... Oh, what's a good example system service to run here? Something that, you know, would obviously be like a pain in the ass to set up on Ubuntu. But not something that takes up too much resources so that we can forget about it. Oh, I know, Nginx. Let's... I'm gonna copy the contents of the NixOS configuration here. Where is that XIO? Was it 12 MP? No, it wasn't. NixOS makes running Nginx so easy, I forget that it's running on my server. Yeah. Holy crap. It's just... like, if everything was this easy, I'd probably be out of a job, and I would be totally okay with that. Like, you have no idea how okay I would be with being out of a job because everything was made easier. I know there's one, I know there's an example thing. Okay, let's just install a basic Nginx. And add this Nginx configuration. The file. Okay, so I'm going to call this test.local citation club. And the root is going to be... No, wait, it protects home by default, so... Just going to do /srv. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the file system hierarchy here because I'm pretty sure that you've probably never heard of the SRV folder before. The SRV folder is by design not handled by any standard, so you can use it for whatever. It's basically defined to be used in a quote-unquote site-specific way, which is computer nerd for do whatever the fuck you want. What is the official definition? Oh right, StreamFox, so I can show you that I actually research things like a real adult. Ah, I did remember the thing from the file system hierarchy documents. This is, for the record, this is Red Hat 4 documentation we're looking at right here. However, this stuff is, you know, stable and crusty enough that it's probably not going to change ever, so we can pretty much rely on that. Okay. Hide StreamFox. You know what? Let's do it proper. Let's make an HTTP folder. And then the SRV folder is set aside for site-specific data, which is code for do whatever you want with this folder. Make a separate serve HTTP folder and put each static subdomain in its own folder under that. However, I am also told that it is idiomatic to put stuff in /var/www. Pick your poison. Oh, right, I need to use the pre-tag. I need to get to another Markdown parser. This one works pretty well, but the ways that you mix HTML and Markdown are really weird. Something a bit more permissive would be nice. You know what? Let's add this configuration to my thing, and let's do this live. So I at least, you know, pretend that I know what I'm doing, which is kind of a big leap a lot of the time. But, you know, pretending is good. And then we rebuild. Oh my god, okay, I made a mistake. I told it to use, Let's Encrypt. We're not gonna use Let's Encrypt. So, I kill those lines with Control-K. By the way, in Nano, if you ever need to remove an entire line, press Control-K. That will kill the line. And in Linux speak, killing a line means deleting it. Okay, so Nginx runs as Nginx, cool. So then you can make, actually, wait, curl okay, good. We're getting 404 not found. Now, I wonder will this happen in Windows too? "404 not found." Oh my gosh, right. This is PowerShell. I don't remember how to find things in the path in PowerShell. But either way, we're getting 404s. This is very good. And you can test the web server with the curl command. And we're gonna paste the Angie. Gonna say 404 not found. But we don't have anything there because we didn't put anything there. Oh. Apparently typing good makes my avatar do that. This is good. Nginx is running, and since we haven't created the folder yet, it is saying that it doesn't exist. Oh, I have angry. I have a big Angie. I have wave. Oh, I'm pretty sure I'll find all of them eventually. You know what? Let's Oh, of course, it doesn't report it as an error. Why would it do that? That would be convenient. think Emacs... Oh, no, Vika, we're talking about the avatar software that I'm using has, if I type in wave, it'll make my avatar start waving. And if I type good, it'll make my avatar show a thumbs up. I'm still getting used to this exact VTubing software, so I don't know what everything does. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I know, right? I'm also figuring this out live with you. Let's see if this command will do that. Okay. Directory index is forbidden. Directory index of is forbidden. Oh! That's because I don't have an index.html file there. Oh, okay. There. So we have an amazing website. And yeah, so we have an amazing website there, so all we need to do is add things to the index.html. That's a cool website, yeah. And paste in this HTML, and then I'm going to need to recopy this. And then no, go back. Okay, G. console. Paste this. By the way, in Vim, if you select character, if you use capital D, you can use that to delete an entire line. So when I was deleting all the spaces, I was basically going to the character right after the end caret, going back to normal mode by pressing escape, and then pressing capital D. That will delete the rest of the line, which allows me to remove all the white space. I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to do this, but 3 lines is below my threshold of automation. And then I'm just gonna get a screenshot of this whole mess real quick. Also, I didn't know that port forwarding worked on this. I didn't know that if you opened a port in WSL, it would just automatically open the port in Windows. That is really cool. So then let me just upload this screenshot to Backblaze so that I can paste it into the blog. I'm gonna sign in with my Backblaze account. I'm gonna go to Christine Static because that's the name of the bucket. Upload it to the blog folder. Go to picture. Is it desktop? Today is the 23rd, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, so then I find the 23rd. There we go. And now we embed the image. Then I change this to cdn.christine.website so that it goes behind Cloudflare. I'm gonna add a little note here that says, like, it's worth noting that PowerShell does have a bunch of aliases for common core utils commands to the appropriate PowerShell commandlets. Aliases, however, these aliases are bold, not bold. There. So, I know someone said that, PowerShell does have a bunch of aliases to common core utils commands. However, I don't want to have your muscle memory betray you like I constantly do. Like, you know, like, get -o foo.raw. And I just go down here and I download, like, for example, the printer fax service, portable service. Okay, that's a bad example because that actually worked. What the hell? Now, where is that writing it? Yeah, it's writing it to fucking nowhere. It said, are not flag compatible and use the PowerShell semantics of the instead of the semantics command is aliasing. In their full, overly verbose glory. Okay, so does NixOS container work? Wait, does it? Okay, if NixOS container works here. Oh my fucking god, I think it does. Oh my god. Creating a container does not start it. Start the container, run this. Oh my gosh, okay, so it does support NixOS container. Why wouldn't it? WSL is a Linux VM, basically. Yeah, I know WSL2 is a Linux VM, but, you know, you still expect some things to just not work. Like, just, you know, because Windows is perpetually broken. But, okay, this means that I can adapt my entire series of posts to use a NixOS thing in WSL. This is going to be important when I write this. When I write this as an ebook. Gotta keep my editor in business somehow, you know? If you're out there open, stay fresh. The distros are containers managed by a Microsoft written container manager, so it would be unsurprising if things broke. Yeah, that's my thought exactly. /C group. Oh, this doesn't have hand tracking, so it doesn't get the fact that it was stretching so much. Ugh. Nginx Flakes for WSL. That's the branch this is in. Don't want to accidentally deploy this before my editor can edit it. Almost finished this double-double from Timmy's. I should just polish the rest of it off. Coffee's kind of lukewarm at this point anyway. You know what? Let's convert this to a flake. Where's my copy of Go Hello? Ah, there it is. Okay, so okay, let's hack up a flake. No, I don't want to copy a link to the highlighted part of the text browser. I want to copy the text. You can delete the description. The description is that it's for hacking VM. Outputs equals self mix packages ... Yep. And then we make the system. So then we add configuration.nix as... Yeah, so this configuration.nix file here defines the VM. So it stands to reason that if we just copy this flake.nix here, NixOS configurations.wsl. We just copy this, right? I'm probably very wrong here. I am totally making this up, but if we put this here. So if I rebuild... If I rebuild with this flake, then nothing should happen. Like, I mean, it's gonna update the system to NixOS unstable, which I probably want anyway, but... And finally... Not hacker, let's go happy. Run this as root, happy. We have just... Okay, so at this point, I think this converts it to a Flakes install. Nix channel system. Actually, does this work? If I just do NixOS rebuild switch flake and then I pass a file to it. Oh, that does! Okay. Okay, that makes things a lot easier. Okay. Okay, then we... Let me just go down here and... add go hello as an input. How did I add go hello? Okay, it's in NixOS module. The configuration name was the host name of the distro. A plain NixOS rebuild switch is no special arguments, supposed to auto-detect the flake and just make it just work. Let's try this. Because, TIL. Shachi. What? Yeah, no, like, the prompt is saying that the host name is Shachi, though. Okay. Okay, I guess that works. So I'm going to change all of this to reflect that. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that. Cool. Let's add go hello to this and let's make it run. Because if I can do this I hate saying this, but this may actually make Windows a viable target for me to develop on. Like, I hate Microsoft, but I also like playing video games, so... Oh, git. No such file or directory. Let's just cheat and, I'm on Windows 10. I would be on Windows 11, but I have to give up my NixOS install for that. But if this works well enough that I can run Emacs, it might be okay for me to use Windows 11. I hate the fact that it's probably going to work out for me to use Windows 11 here, but it's probably going to work out for me to use Windows 11. Fucking hell. Oh, because NixOS doesn't have secure boot, and Windows 11 railroads you into secure boot. Hello world? Okay, so what thing was that on? Oh my god. It works. Yeah, I really don't want to hack up the Windows installer. I don't know about you, but I just don't want to do it. Environment.system packages, right? I think it's environment.system packages. Yes, it is environment.system packages. Go NixOS rebuild switch. I guess I could install Windows 11 without that. It's gonna give me grief if I want to update things though, and I'm gonna have to do some big thonks that I probably don't want to do on stream. You could get my drift. And rebuild the system with Go Hello enabled. By the way, in GitHub flavored Markdown, if you use what's called the console language, it will automatically format things so that it looks like a shell console session. But yeah, I definitely am going to be using this for explaining how to deploy to multiple NixOS servers, because this is actually surprisingly convenient. It really does give you a normal NixOS machine on Windows, which is... I'm not gonna have to sacrifice my NixOS install to get Windows 11 and WSLG, which also means I can run Emacs and WSLG. Ugh. Probably need to back up my code folder. Actually, does this work? No. update the flake. You know, we can just do this, which is kind of cheesy. Can update the flake from somewhere else. Yep. Oh, that's so cheesy. I love that. It's so horrible. Oh, this is so amazingly horrible. I love it. I didn't know that worked either, Annoyed Transpossum. Also, welcome to the stream. I'm finding out a lot of things about this. Awesome. So, from here you can do whatever you want with NixOS. You can use containers. Set up arbitrary services, or plan for world domination as normal. Let's use this setup in future posts to help you as a basis for all to make these redeemed highlight my message. Yay for world domination. Oh, what is it? It's protect the world from devastation, to unite all peoples within our nation, to denounce the evils of truth and love, and to extend our reach into the stars above. Because you know you gotta do Team Rocket. Oh, I have a horrible idea. Who needs a monopoly on violence for world domination when you have Nix expressions? gonna add that there. To make this more accessible and easy to hack at without having to have a dedicated NixOS machine playing around. There we go. Holy crap. This feels like it's gonna be a good one. So let's pop over to Streamfox and let's do a quick read over of this post. About 5 years ago, Microsoft released the Windows Subsystem for Linux, WSL. This allows you to run Linux programs on a Windows machine. When they released WSL version 2 in 2019, this added support for things like Docker and Systemd. As a result, this is enough to run NixOS on Windows. This will give you an environment to run Nix and Nix Flakes commands with. You can use this to follow along with this series without having to install NixOS on a VM or cloud server. Head over to the NixOS WSL releases page. You know what? Let's just make the link on releases page. Seems like it would be better. And download the NixOS WS installer fix.tar.gz file to your downloads folder. Then open PowerShell and make a folder called WSL. New item-path./WSL-item type directory. It's worth noting that PowerShell does have a bunch of aliases for common core utils commands to the appropriate PowerShell commandlets. However, these aliases are not flag compatible and use the PowerShell semantics instead of the semantics of the command it is aliasing. This will bite you when you use commands like wget. Out of instinct to download things. In order to avoid your muscle memory betraying you, the PowerShell commandlets are shown here with in their fully overly verbose glory. I wish I could deploy Windows on bare metal with a Nix expression without having the exact same Windows set up every time I reinstall. Big friggin' mood. Holy crap, big friggin' mood. Then enter the directory with set location. This directory is where the NixOS root file system will live. If you want to put this somewhere else, feel free to. Somewhere in app data will work, just as long as it's on an NTFS volume somewhere. It has to be NTFS volume because, you know, Microsoft. Make a folder for the NixOS file system. Then install the NixOS root image with the WSL command. And then start NixOS once to have it install itself. Once that finishes, press Ctrl-D or use the exit command to exit out of NixOS and restart the WSL virtual machine. Exit, WSL shutdown, WSL-D NixOS. And then you have yourself a working NixOS environment. It's very bare bones, but we can use it to text the nix run command against our go hello command. Nix run github:/z/go hello. Hello, reader. We can also use this with the this NixOS environment to run a local Nginx server. Open etc configuration nixos configuration.nix. And I just pasted the default configuration.nix there for you. Right after the WSL block, add this Nginx configuration to the file. We enable Nginx, we create a virtual host, we set the root. This will create an Nginx configuration that points the domain test.local.citation.club to the contents of the folder serve http test.local.citation.club. Oh, that needs to be code, not pre. Let's fix that real quick. The serve folder is set aside for site-specific data, which is code for do whatever you want with this folder. In many cases, people make a separate serve HTTP folder and put each static subdomain in its own folder under that. However, I am also told that it is idiomatic to put stuff in var www. Pick your poison. Then you can test the web server with the curl command. And then, you know, we have the curl command there. This is good. Nginx is running, and since we haven't created the folder with our website content yet, this 404 means that it can't find it. Let's create the folder so that Nginx has permission to it, and then we can modify things in it. So we make the folder serve test local.citation.club, and then we chown it to NixOS, which is the default username, and Nginx, which is the group that Nginx is in, that Nginx runs as, so that Nginx has permission to do it, to get into there. Finally, we can make an amazing website. Open this path in Nano, and then paste in this HTML. See, and then you can see it show up with curl. Oh, I need to fix that. I need to remove the overly verbose prompt. See, this is why I do a once-over. And in this case, I'm doing it right in front of you so you can all see my failures. You can also check this out in a browser by clicking here. So the reason why this works is because star.local.citation.club is set to 127.0.0.1 in my Cloudflare panel. You can use this if you want, but keep in mind that I may forget to renew the domain, so don't make it load-bearing. In general, one of your domains should have star.local pointing to localhost, because it just makes things so much easier. Like, you have no idea. Just being able to run a local Nginx instance and have it selectively point to projects that you're working on it's huge. It is so huge. So then we can install the GoHello service that we've been hacking at through this entire series. To install the GoHello service, first we will need to convert this machine to use NixOS Flakes. We can do this really quick and easy by adding this file to etc nixos/flake.nix. Oh, conv, not conf. And we have a little chart curl saying, do this as root. So then we have this base template right here, which is basically, you know, just like shim everything into place so that it just works. Then run nix flake check to make sure everything is okay. Actually, does this work? If I do sudo nix flake check on this? Oh, it does. Okay, cool. And finally, activate the new configuration with Flakes. After it thinks for a bit, you should notice that nothing happened. This is good. We have just converted the system over to using Nix Flakes instead of the classic Nix channel rebuild method. To get GoHello in the system, first we need to add git to the commands available on the system in configuration.nix. And then, you know, I have the thing that you used, install git. Then we can add GoHello to our flake. And I should probably point out that that may change for you. Yeah, let's do it. There. Have a little comment there. We add GoHello. You know what? Let's rearrange this so that it's more obvious what has been added. You know, I'll just put add things here, there, just so it's a bit easier to follow. Rebuild the system with GoHello enabled, poke it with curl, and then to update it, update the Flake inputs in etc NixOS and run NixOS rebuild. Yep. From here, you can do whatever you want with NixOS. You can use containers, set up arbitrary services, or plan for world domination as normal. I thought it was to save the world from devastation, not to plan for world domination. Who needs a monopoly on violence for world domination when you have Nix expressions? I'll use this setup in future posts to make this more accessible and easy to hack at without having to have a dedicated NixOS machine laying around. Yep. Why are you so funny? Welcome to the chat, Gracefoo. Welcome to the stream, Gracefoo. You probably think I'm funny because I have a lot of experience writing. And, after a while, I got bored of taking everything super seriously all the time, so, I'm just lightening up a little. I think this is good. I'm gonna submit it to my editor. Oh, that's right. I also need to, I'm gonna stop the recording now.